Some officers were labeled as pro-DMK officers and some others pro-ADMK officers. Not everybody. Some. Some means quite a good number. You will find with every reign change, suppose under ADMK rule, whoever was in important position, they will be relegated to unimportant positions. And vice versa. It was happening in Tamil Nadu, which is very unfortunate. It should not have happened. Election Commission is not acting independently. It is acting as the branch office of BJP. It's very obvious. But they have a moral responsibility to decide the grounds on which these people have been transferred. Can they explain why Mr. Vijay has cancelled meetings, 7 or 8 meetings, after police has given clearance? I think this gentleman is tired of politics and they are trying to blame the police for anything and everything. It's a waste of time to talk about TVK. They are juvenile delinquents. They are just small children, running around hither to here and there without knowing where they are running and why they are running. Now, this is a very objectionable statement. Mr. Modi should have been issued a notice. He said, beware, we are 80% and you are 20%. BJD is trying to hand over power, Chief Minister's post, to a Tamilian. Beware. Do you want yourself to be ruled by a Tamilian? Beware, Biharis are beaten by the DMK people in Tamil Nadu.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Federal. In a first time in the history move, Election Commission of India has transferred massive transfer of Tamil Nadu top bureaucrats, including Chief Secretary, DGP, Home Secretary and DVSC Director, and it's sending the entire state administration into trouble. To decode this extraordinary intervention and its far-reaching implications, we are joined by veteran retired IAS officer Balachandran. Thank you so much, sir, for joining with us.
Welcome.
Sir, this Election Commission has taken the unprecedented step to transfer the Chief Secretary, DGP and DVSC head, Home Secretary in Tamil Nadu. So this goes far beyond usual practice. So what's your first take, sir?
I have told in an earlier interview, perhaps to you or to another channel, I do not have any faith on the neutrality or impartiality or integrity of this Election Commission. And mine is based on strong evidence. In the one parliamentary election that was held in 2024, Mr. Narendra Modi is on record saying to the electorate, if you have 2 cows, beware, one of them will be snatched by Congress and handed over to a person who is an illegal immigrant in India. Now, this is a very objectionable statement. Mr. Modi should have been issued a notice asking to explain why he made the statement. Another leader of the BJP, specifically the present Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, he said, beware, we are 80% and you are 20%. To whom did he address? The entire nation knows. And Election Commission did not take any notice of it. In the last election to Orissa assembly elections, the senior leaders of BJP made a statement. They are trying, BJD is trying to hand over power, Chief Minister's post, to a Tamilian. Beware. Do you want yourself to be ruled by a Tamilian? Which was a false accusation. Now, Election Commission did not take cognizance of it. They further said that the key to the treasury of Puri Jagannath Temple has been smuggled away to Tamil Nadu. They said it. Is there any proof for anything that they said? No. But the Election Commission kept quiet. In the last election to the Bihar assembly elections, the BJP is on record having stated, beware, Biharis are beaten by the DMK people in Tamil Nadu. Any evidence?
Yeah, abused by DMK leaders.
No, but they said it. So they have made accusations on linguistic, religious, regional grounds, which are all objectionable. They should have been issued notices. They were not. Ultimately, in the last parliamentary election, notice was issued to the party, to the political party, not to the individual concerned.
Not individual,
So this is the integrity of the Election Commission. Now, in Bengal, you see, Election Commission has every right to determine what are all the documents that can be chosen as evidence of a person's being a voter in a particular constituency. One of the documents selected by the Election Commission in West Bengal for the upcoming election, for the upcoming assembly election, is the certificate issued by the CBSE. Because there, the person's name, his address, his age, everything is there. Good enough. That's a good document. Now, the same Election Commission has said that the certificate issued by the school board, state school board, we call it Madhyamik and Ucha Madhyamik, 10th and plus 10. In Bengali, we call it Madhyamik and Ucha Madhyamik. So, certificate issued by the state education board for the Madhyamik examination and the Ucha Madhyamik examination will not be taken as recorded evidence. Is there any justification in it? So, this is their behavior. How do you expect us to believe? Now, coming to this question of transfers, they transferred en masse in West Bengal, right from Chief Secretary, Home Secretary, DGP, Commissioner of Police Calcutta, Additional Director General of Police, everybody was en masse transferred. Now, what is the normal practice? There are two grounds on which an officer dealing with the election matters, which includes law and order, can be transferred. One is, as on the date of declaration of the election, if an officer has completed more than 3 years in a particular station, he or she has to be transferred. Another one, if an officer is seen to behave in a biased manner, if Election Commission is satisfied that he is acting in a biased manner, then the Election Commission is competent to transfer the officer. Election Commission has this authority with reference to two issues, namely conduct of election and law and order. These two alone. If somebody is doing something in animal husbandry, it's not for Election Commission to do anything about it. Okay. Now, in West Bengal, what they did, Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, before the code of conduct came into effect, she checked up who are all the officers who have served for more than 3 years. She found
even governor also got transferred in West Bengal.
Yeah. Now, these 10 or 11 officers, she already transferred. You have completed 3 years, Election Commission is going to transfer you, and she had posted new officers. Now, en masse, all these new 11 officers were transferred out by Election Commission. What is the evidence in their hand that all these 11 officers are biased? Okay. Here in Tamil Nadu, as soon as the code of conduct came into effect, 4 SPs were transferred. Now, what is the ground? Complaint has been lodged against them by BJP about the 4 SPs. Did Election Commission go through the complaint?
Initially, BJP is accusing them. So the next day, the same day evening, they were transferred.
They were transferred. Now, so Election Commission is not acting independently. It is acting as the branch office of BJP. It's very obvious. Now, coming to Chief Secretary. One day before the election to the Kerala Assembly, they transferred the DGP, Chief Secretary. One day before. 9th April is the election. 8th April, this month, they transferred Chief Secretary. And now they have transferred Chief Secretary of Tamil Nadu and also Home Secretary, then DGP. You see, a district magistrate is also an IAS officer. He is a district election officer. So if he can be transferred, anybody connected with the election can be transferred. Home Secretary is in charge of law and order, in charge of police. So they can say that he is colluding with the police and police is biased. They can. Now, for anything, there has to be, they need not tell us what is the evidence. It is not their responsibility to explain to us why they transferred. They have absolute authority. But they have a moral responsibility to decide the grounds on which these people have been transferred. I do not find any moral grounds.
Opposition parties like ADMK, BJP, even TVK also accusing the police officials are not biased. They're not giving permission properly. They're not giving route timing for TVK. So there are allegations against them also. They are not proper. They are not biased.
No, actually, it's always the Election Commission which gives permission on the advice of the police. Without taking the advice of police in law and order matters, we don't take final decision, even the district administration. So in election also, it is the same thing. Now, when in fact, it's a waste of time to talk about TVK. They are juvenile delinquents. They are just small children, running around hither to here and there without knowing where they are running and why they are running. Can they explain why Mr. Vijay has cancelled meetings, 7 or 8 meetings, after police has given clearance? Can they explain? So they just want to, I think this gentleman is tired of politics. He is tired of reading from printed paper that is given to him. typed paper or printed paper. So he is cancelling at his will. And they are trying to blame the police for anything and everything. But let us come to the other political parties, established conventional political parties like BJP, ADMK, if they have a complaint, including TVK, if they have a genuine complaint, yes, the complaint need be looked into. But in TVK, I don't find them to be serious people. So I don't want to take them into too seriously. And the Chiman, I find him to be instigating the police to file a case against him. Yesterday, the police told him, look, 10 o'clock is past, the meeting has to be closed. Then he coolly said, you file a case against me. Let me continue the meeting. So that is another case. Now, DMK or ADMK or Congress or Vidudalai Siruthaigal or CPI, CPM, BJP, any of these parties, if they lodge a complaint, it is the duty of the Election Commission to look into the complaint and to take remedial measures. There are occasions, where I have conducted elections, and very luckily, I had excellent relation with my counterpart, with my SP. And if a complaint comes about a sub-inspector to me, I immediately used to call him over for tea, my SP, and then we will sit together. And then I'll tell him, hey, dekho bhai, to what extent this is true. But we cannot take time, we cannot take days to decide. You have only a few hours. And we have to, we should not be only neutral, we should be seen to be neutral. That's very important. And we have transferred some, and we have not transferred many. We have called the political party and told them, you have given this complaint. On inquiry, this is what we find. If you have any problem about my finding, you can again look into it. You can talk to me. But this is my finding. This is what Election Commission is supposed to do, supposed to say on that particular time. Here, Election Commission, the most important thing, transfer for CS, Home Secretary, etc. You have a state chief electoral officer. Mrs. Patnaik is in Tamil Nadu. They generally oversee the conduct of election. But this kind of order, it comes from above them. It comes directly from Delhi.
Yeah.
And Delhi, I have already told you that they are biased. They are not neutral. And I'm continuing what I was trying to say. The Chief Secretary of a state is not responsible only for law and order and the election. He is the chief coordinator of the state government's governance. Especially at a time when election is there, we are not taking orders from the political authorities. The buck ends at the table of the chief secretary. He has to give the orders. Now, one day before the election, when you transfer chief secretary, or a few days before election, you transfer chief secretary, as it happens in Tamil Nadu, I will tell you the practical problem. Now, as chief secretary, every departmental file comes to chief secretary. Now, no new schemes can be announced, but then state government's functioning cannot be paralyzed. Now, in animal husbandry, suppose the next installment of funds to be released is say around the 24 crores. Agriculture, you have to release funds. Now, what are continuous schemes? There is no ban by the Election Commission for release of funds. They have to be released. Otherwise, state government will paralyze. Now, a new chief secretary, how does a chief secretary function? He has been there. Mr. Muruganathan is there. He has been there for quite some time. He knows about not only all the departments, also about the departmental secretaries. Normally, when a file comes, we look into two factors. Is this file okay? And the man who is supposed to work on this file, is he capable to the extent desired? If his capacity is 70%, then we will have hesitation in releasing money quickly. We will talk to him and instruct him, don't delay matters. If his capacity is 90%, 95%, we will immediately release. Yes. Now, a new chief secretary, do you think he will be able to know about each and every departmental affair?
Judge
we can't. And in Kerala, certainly in Kerala, the administration is paralyzed. In all the other departments, nothing will happen. All the files this gentleman, chief secretary, has to look into, assess, and then release of funds. So this is not the way to function for the Election Commission, but they function. When the Constitution was framed by the framers of the Indian Constitution, they expected the pillars of democracy, like Supreme Court, the courts, including the high courts, higher courts, and the Election Commission, they expected these posts to be filled up only by governor, great dignitaries, men of great eminence, men of great quality. And Ambedkar rightly said, you are asking me whether this constitution will function. It depends on who are going to be under this constitution. Today, I think we are not
One
having
more
such a great
specific
people.
question, sir. There is normally, so far, normally no direct connection between DVAC and conducting elections in Tamil Nadu. But yet, the election commission specifically moved DVAC director. Actually, then again, he was again back to the same officer was appointed as a same DVAC director in within short span of time. So, what's underlying the logic here?
It shows the confusion of the election commission. They have treaded into grounds where they have no right to tread, and they realized it, and then they backtracked. That's all I can say. But I hear another story that the concerned officer has gone on leave. Originally, they
No, sir,
posted
that's the
one
latest
particular officer.
development. That's the latest
Yeah,
development.
yeah.
But this comes on after, yeah, because the senior officers,
No,
the
in an
Sandeep
indirect
Mittal.
way, it comes. Let me tell you, in an indirect way, it comes. For instance, about a particular minister, the
Mm.
court has issued an order that the case should be filed about a particular minister in Tamil Nadu.
Nehru, yeah.
Yeah, DVSC has got its procedure. So in the court, it was told, no, no, we are going through the procedure and we are looking into the matter. Court was not all that happy. Now, Election Commission can take a very roundabout view. No, they have not complied with the court's order because a politician, a ruling party's politician is involved. When DVS is doing this, I consider him to be biased, and that cuts into the judicial, into the neutral electoral process, and therefore I transfer. They can say anything. You know, that's what they perhaps would have found as their ground for transfer.
But Sandeep Mittal IPS actually was shifted from cybercrime wing to head of DVAC within a short span of time, moved against to armed force, and which is widely viewed as a punishment post.
Yeah.
But it all happened immediately after DMK alleging that he was an RSS supporter. So, in your experience, has such a rapid double transfer it's occurred before?
No, not normally, in my experience.
So, have you see what's your view on this RSS link and transfer back? So, is it all as a political game, or really something is there behind this
No,
transfer?
if somebody is being accused as being RSS supporter, that's also not the ground to immediately revert to the transfer order. No, in my opinion, they should have thought about everything. They should have thought about the background, whether such an accusation is possible. We always say Caesar's wife should not only be chased, she should be seen to be chased. And therefore, if we post at this junction an officer about whom such an accusation comes, we should take that also into consideration. You see, around 2000 years back, there was a gentleman in Tamil Nadu who said a small thing, எண்ணி துணிக கருமம் துணிந்தபின் எண்ணுவம் என்பது இழுக்கு. He said, decide after considering all the pros and cons. To take a decision before such a consideration is a disgrace. That's what he said. I think this quarrel should be translated and somebody should send it to the Election Commission.
So, as we discussed, I just want to give a more throw more light on IAS and IPS functionaries as electoral officers. The sweeping changes reportedly thrown Tamil Nadu administration into confusion at critical time. Actually, as you said, can you just give more clarity on what's the role of IAS? I mean, district collector, district SP, and how they performing during election. So, how it was managed by DGP and chief secretary, really there is a room for suspicious how these things are be illusionated. They're coming to an assumption that he is pro ruling party or opposition party, or how things are happening, sir. This temporary disruptions is avoidable, or it's needed
It's,
because to ensure free and fair elections.
no, it's avoidable. In West Bengal, my batchmate Samar Ghosh was chief secretary under CPM regime. When Mamta came, he continued because his tenure was for another 1.5 years. He continued for another 1.5 years as chief secretary. Nobody disturbed him. In England, the cabinet secretary, who is under Conservative Party, after the party loses election and goes, when the Labour comes, they continue because it is expected and believed that the chiefs, the public servants, will be neutral. You see, we are very, there is, I don't want to name the officer, there is one particular officer today, he is holding a very important position in Tamil Nadu government. He has been holding an important position in the previous regime also, because he is known to be a very efficient officer and he does not have any political color. Once Mamta Banerjee asked me, she said, but you have been doing a lot of work under CPM. I said, yes. So she said, no, I had only 14 days to go. I said, for retirement, I said, I don't want any post for 14 days. I want to be in peace. So she said, no, but you have been under CPM regime and you have been doing a lot of things for them. That's why you say that you don't want to be here. I said, ma'am, you are committing basic mistake. I've been doing a lot of things not for CPM, for the government. And if I had another 2 years, I would have told you, post me. I will do all those things for you, for your government. It's my duty. And Mamata Banerjee, when she first came, first tenure, she never believed most of the officers. She thought everybody is CPM man. Dr. G.D. Gautam was my batchmate. He was Home Secretary. She never believed him. It took extraordinary pain for the Chief Secretary to convince her, because Chief Secretary is also our batchmate, Shamar Ghosh. He told her, ma'am, Gautam was only doing his duty and he will continue to do his duty as Home Secretary. It was very difficult. But in the second tenure, she did a lot of welfare measures in the first 5 years. All was done by officers who were earlier working under CPM regime. Excellent work was done. The second tenure, she got elected because that was a positive vote for Mamta. The first time election was the negative vote for CPM, not positive vote for Mamta. Second time, it was positive vote for Mamta by the same force, government force, whom she disbelieved. See, government servants are working for the government, and there can be biases. You cannot rule it out. But the biases are not all throughout pervading. You see, government systems advantages when a decision is taken, it goes through 7 or 8 heads. That's normally the rule. Now, in 7 or 8 heads, you don't expect all the 7 or 8 to be partial. There will be at least 3 people who are impartial, neutral. They will point out if there is any partiality. Certain amount of bias is unavoidable. Let me tell you something.
In Tamil Nadu also, there are allegations against IAS, IPS officers, even IPS officers.
Yeah.
They are more towards ruling parties. That's why opposition like ADMK,
not like that.
TVK, and other politicians also, personally, they are accusing some officials. They are very leaning towards DMK or ruling party, some particular party. So they have to be transferred. They should not be in the same post. It's allegation.
In Tamil Nadu, that's what I was trying to come. I was coming to say that in Tamil Nadu, unfortunately, some officers were labeled as pro DMK officers and some others pro ADMK officers. Not everybody. Some means quite a good number. You will find with every reign change, under ADMK rule, whoever was in important position, they will be relegated to unimportant positions, and vice versa. It was happening in Tamil Nadu, which is very unfortunate. It should not have happened. That's all I can say.